All right, guys, we have a lot of Grand Theft Auto 6 news to get into today because yesterday was the Take-Two Interactive Q3 2022 earnings call. It happened on February 7th at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We heard from the likes of Strauss Zelnick, not only on the call, but also in interviews that he did, and he specifically talked about Grand Theft Auto 6. So I tried to find every single quote and interesting piece of data from the conferences and from the interviews, but I'll leave a link to it in the description so you can take a look at that for yourself if you want. So the first thing we're going to be talking about today is Strauss Zelnick talking about why Rockstar is making GTA 6 when GTA 5 is still doing so great. So in an interview with GameIndustry.biz, Zelnick was asked if there was any concern that a new GTA could negatively impact GTA 5, which, as we know, continues to sell incredibly well so long into its life cycle. But Zelnick said a new GTA is warranted because it's what fans are asking for. He said, "You always have to be willing to be fresh. You always have to be willing to bring consumers what they want. The minute you try to protect the past, you become irrelevant." Going on to say, "I'm thrilled Rockstar's working on the next iteration of Grand Theft Auto. I have no doubt it will be just great, and there's every evidence to believe from the past that the Grand Theft Auto catalog will also continue to perform." Okay, so that right there is actually really nice to hear because Rockstar and Take-Two Interactive have been under scrutiny recently for not listening to fans, whether it's not talking about GTA 6, which they finally did, or not addressing the outcry for support for Red Dead Online, which it's continuing to not get. But this is nice. And he says you try and protect the past, aka if you try and make something like GTA 5 last forever, you're going to become irrelevant. So even though Grand Theft Auto 5 is doing incredibly well, he said fans want GTA 6 and it's time to move on, and we know Rockstar is going to make it absolutely great. So that right there is just fantastic. That's really great to hear from Strauss Zelnick. Now, something I view as a bit of bad news is it looks like we might be seeing NFTs in Grand Theft Auto 6, or at least we could see them in Grand Theft Auto 6. Now, if you guys don't know what NFTs are, unfortunately, I'm not the man who can describe it for you the best, but I'm sure you've heard it around and people investing in them, people buying them left and right. Well, Strauss Zelnick says he's been open to NFTs and blockchain gaming in the past, and this is what he said about having NFTs in future games. He said, "We believe that NFTs are real, and why wouldn't they be? We believe in digital goods, and we've been selling digital goods for a very long time. We believe in rare goods. We believe in collectibles. The concern we have is that there's a speculation going on. We want to make sure that consumers always have a good experience every time they engage with our properties, and losing money on a speculation is not a good experience. So we're going to stay away from speculation. However, we're highly convinced there's an opportunity for NFTs to fit with Take-Two's offerings in the future." So hopefully that doesn't turn a lot of you guys off. And quite frankly, hopefully that isn't something that is a part of Take-Two Interactive's future or Rockstar's future. I just don't think it belongs in gaming. They already have microtransactions in terms of shark cards. I don't want them to push the envelope with something that fans are just not going to like. Now, moving on, a lot of us want to know when more GTA 6 news will be shared. And Strauss Zelnick talked about that. So he spoke to IGN ahead of that call, and Zelnick said that its labels, like Rockstar, always decide when and how to announce their upcoming products, including the recent GTA 6 confirmation. And he adds, obviously people need to stay tuned, a lot more information to be shared, and Rockstar will do so in time. So I know that's not like a massive announcement, and it doesn't really say when or how they're going to be doing it, but at least he's talking about it and acknowledging it. He's saying Rockstar will announce it on their own time, but there's a lot more information to be shared. But I do view that as very good news. Now, given the secret nature of the game, obviously Strauss Zelnick did not divulge any details. However, as CEO, the goal for the next Grand Theft Auto is to build on the success of Grand Theft Auto 5, which is one of the best-selling games of all time, and this has set the bar high for Rockstar to clear, with him saying, "Each iteration for all of our successful franchises at this company, all of them, has always done better than the one before. I'm not saying that'll happen again. I'm not saying that's guaranteed, but that's certainly our goal. So ding, ding, ding. Strauss Zelnick is saying, yeah, GTA 6 better be better than GTA 5. That's our goal, and it always has been. So obviously, good news on that front. Now, moving on, one big hint in particular that we actually got did not come from Strauss Zelnick, but instead Lainey Goldstein, who is the CFO for Take-Two Interactive. She ended up saying this. So in terms of fiscal year 23, so it's a little early for us to start to give detailed guidance for the next year, but we plan to share that on our end-of-year earnings call in May. But what I can tell you on that standalone basis, we do continue to believe that we will achieve sequential net bookings growth in fiscal year 23, driven by some of the exciting releases that our labels have been working on. And at the same time, we will make continued investments next year in marketing talent, in IT, and space expansion as we prepare for some of the major launches that our teams have underway, which we project will enable us to deliver record levels of operating performance in the next few years. Now, that was just a translation for what she said. Others have taken it as in the next 2 years, but we get two big things from this. Number one, in May, it looks like we have a better idea on when Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming out. However, as she said, as we prepare for some of the major launches underway, which will deliver record level performances in the next 2 years, it kind of looks like Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to come out before 2024. Now, it can get a little bit confusing here, talking about fiscal year 2023. That's different than like an actual year, January to December. So just keep that in mind. So long story short, this is a big hint at the release year. I know that doesn't narrow it down, but it's really looking like Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be here before 2024, which I know that sounds like years away, but by the time we get information, screenshots, trailers, we get an actual release date, it's really going to be here before you know it. Now, the last thing I want to discuss in this video today, because there's been a lot of conversation about, will GTA 6 actually have a single player, or is Rockstar just focused on multiplayer? Well, Strauss Zelnick went on to say that Rockstar games are known for great storytelling, and he also believes there's always a role for single player. So have no fear, single player Grand Theft Auto and Rockstar games are not going anywhere anytime soon. I believe we're still going to have an outstanding multiplayer just like we do in Grand Theft Auto Online right now, but I think there's definitely going to be a big focus on the single player, just like there was in GTA 5, just like there was in Red Dead Redemption 2. So that's all the information I've got for you guys in this video today that we were able to gather from the interviews that Strauss Zelnick ended up doing and the information taken from the Take-Two Interactive earnings call. Again, let me know what you guys think about all this information in those comments down below. I would love to hear from you guys down there. If you guys did go and enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and all the Rockstar Games videos that I'll be doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.